so much more to offer because I've only been playing the game for a year, so there's still so much for me to learn.
Hello DC audience, welcome back once again to another Spotlight session. This time I'm joined by pro player and the first of our PlayStation players, our exclusive PlayStation player here on Disconnected. It's Sivorii. Hello Sivorii.
Hi there, how you doing?
I'm good. Thank you very much for sitting down with me to ask the questions that our DC audience want to know and explore more into you as a player. So, my first one is, how did you discover Disconnected?
Well, last year I was at ePrem and Whip was on the Xbox side and I was on the PlayStation, and we just got talking from there, followed each other on social media, and then I saw that he was looking for a PlayStation player this year, and I thought I'd enter and asked, and he said, yeah, we're more than happy to have you.
Yeah, and as you said, you come from ePrem, and it seems that the loop between every single player, we might as well just call us Man City eSports at the moment.
Oh, get more. The more the better. Man City eSports #2. That is great.
There you go. The more the better. But yeah, it seems like the ePrem, it seems like that is the route to Disconnected for a lot of our players. You look at Jord, you look at...
Oh, is it?
Yeah,
okay.
You look at Jord, you look at Saber, you look at Wit himself. So what was it like competing?
Yeah, it's true.
What was it like competing in the ePrem?
I mean, I enjoyed the experience, but I think my two biggest downfalls is I don't know when to take a break from the game and my nerves under pressure. So at ePrem, I was definitely nervous, and that definitely hindered my gameplay. But it was obviously a great experience, and the more you do that, the more comfortable you'll be in that type of environment. But that was my first event of any sort, because it was my first year playing FIFA.
Yeah, and you pretty much hit the nail on the head there in terms of the tournament. It's a big tournament, prestigious obviously in terms of EA. You've got all the players there, all the pro players. So to have that as your first one, where did you come out? Where did you come out in the result of that one?
Top semi-final.
There you go. Can't complain about that.
Yeah. So from starting the year Gold 1 to finishing Elite 1 by the end of the year, from my first year playing the game ever and going to ePrem and getting far in an Ajax tournament, the last 8 out of 3,000 to compete for a contract there, I'm more than happy with how I did. But at the start of this year, I followed the same form, and then this month I've just felt a bit burnt out by it. I never took a break. I think that was my biggest problem from FIFA 20 to FIFA 21. I didn't have that break. I was grinding FIFA 20 up to the day of release of FIFA 21, and I think that was my downfall of why I feel burnt out so quickly at the moment.
It's amazing the fact of you. This is so you've pretty much only had FIFA for a year then, or competing for a year.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's it. Yeah,
that's nuts. It's absolutely nuts.
Yeah. That's why I know that I've got so much more to offer, because I've only been playing the game for a year, so there's still so much for me to learn.
So are you saying that you were pro for a year, or you literally your first FIFA was last year?
First FIFA.
What?
Was my first FIFA I made ePrem.
That is first nuts.
Yeah.
So is that? I presume that was the question I was going to ask next. Was about Foot Champs in terms of when you started Foot Champs. So that was last year, pretty much.
Yeah, last year started first weekend. I got Gold 1. Obviously I've been playing it at the start as soon as FIFA 20 come out. Played it for I think it's like 2 weeks it is before Foot Champ start, and I was just thought it was okay, and then I hit Gold 1. And then I was hitting Gold 1 for like a couple of months, and then I went to Elite 3, and over the year progressed to Elite 2 and then Elite 1, and then I was consistently hitting 27s, 28s by the end of the year.
So you say you're hitting those big kind of top tier Foot Champs records in terms of the 26s, the 27s, etc. When you realised that you actually then could compete pro, or then could compete for the ePrem?
When I made ePrem, to be fair, and when I was at Ajax, and I made the last 8 out of 3,000 people with huge names in that tournament, competing for the contract, and I made the finals. So that was a big one, and then obviously ePrem, and then I've started realising this is my first year and I've already made 2 pretty big tournaments. I'm gonna keep going with this, and then now I'm at Disconnected.
So in terms of yourself then, before FIFA, did you compete in any other game, or did you
No, I used to play Call of Duty now and then. I was on a bit of Fortnite, but nothing's at a competitive level. And then I went to FIFA, And then, yeah, it just happened so quickly, everything, to be honest.
I think if you put so much time and effort, like you said, and you grind the game and really learn the meta and know exactly how it works, in a year you really can perform it. I applaud you. I bow to you. That is incredible. The fact of in a year.
Yeah, if you grind, and I think what it is, when you grind, when you've got a lot to improve, it's okay. But when you're grinding and you're near the top of the game, you can get frustrated so easily because you don't see major improvements. You just see tiny little things and then setbacks, thinking, "Oh, I was better 4 months ago than I am now." But really, it's that you're near your peak level, and it's just fine touches that probably a coach or something needs to point out for you that you don't realise that you're doing wrong. So it's so the margin between the best players and the top 10 in the world is probably just something so little that they know that you don't, and that you need someone to spot out for you. And another thing to say to that is when I was improving and grinded a lot, the best way to improve, in my opinion, was watch pros playing pros in the Foot Champs Cups, the finals, Tex versus Sivorii. I just watched what they did in a defensive situation, attacking situation, building up, and then I just picked it up quite quickly. But that was definitely the quickest way to progress. I was just watching a lot of Tex's games in Foot Champs Cups, and then that's how I think I got to Elite One in the first year.
It's almost like, I don't want to say like school, but it's very similar. The fact that you learn something, you learn that, and then learn how they play, you learn how other pros play, and you adapt that into your own gameplay. That is phenomenal in terms of the research behind that and finding that out.
Yeah, so I definitely say for people who want to improve, don't just grind the game because you won't be improved. It's like maths or anything. If you're just you're not the teacher, you can't teach yourself. You need to look at the best, and they're your teachers, and you pick up off them. And I still do it to this day. When there's a pro tournament going on, I watch it all the time just to see what they're doing, what I think they could be doing better, what I couldn't take away from their game, from skills to defending, from build-up play to attacking, finishing, everything.
Yeah, so that leads me on to my final question then. So what's it like in terms of joining Disconnected, and what's it like working with the rest of the group?
Oh, up to now, they've been fantastic. Made me feel really at home. Obviously, they're all City fans, so I already like them anyway. So, yeah, so there's that. And then, everything's been great. Sadly, I've just dropped out of the qualifiers for PlayStation for the first one, which is obviously upsetting, but I know I've got so much more to give. I can't not wait to watch the Xbox side, how they're going to do. Of course, the PlayStation side, especially Europe, is so competitive for them 1,000 spaces. A lot of people signed up for that tournament. I think it finished on about 2,500. So yeah, I just dropped out, but obviously we'll go again for the next one. But yeah, I can't wait for the rest of the year with Disconnected. It started off great, so only up.
Definitely, only up from here indeed. Sivorii, it's been a pleasure. Thank you very much for speaking to me on this Spotlight session.
Thank you for your time.
So then guys, that was Sivorii here with our Spotlight session, and our final Spotlight session airs next week. So make sure to tune into that one. Friday at 7 o'clock next week, where we will sit down and speak with Mikey. He is finally going to sit down with me and speak, and he is our final one of our Spotlight sessions. Make sure to check out any of other future tournaments or any other DC content. But until then, I shall see you next week. And as always, big up DC.